In this video, you're going to learn how to strip down your computer so that you've got a highly optimized, highly organized computer filing system. One of the first things you can do is think about what file formats you're using and if it's necessary to be using proprietary formats or anything that's beyond a basic text document. Now, I've said before, using Google Docs is one of the best ways, and that is a proprietary format that's stuck in the cloud. But the benefits of outsourcing, the benefits of collaboration, of delegating, those outweigh the negatives of having it in the cloud because you can always back things up. And there's special organizational strategies you can use to counteract that. For example, having everything at a single level of hierarchy and keeping all your Google Docs in a few places within your drive. That way, it doesn't take a lot of time to just back up all of those folders, download them offline every week or every month, depending on how your system is set up and how important those backups are for you. But I want you to do at least an experiment, if it's going to be short term, is try using naked text documents and not doing anything beyond that, and see what you can do with just a text document, because it turns out they're very versatile. If you're using something like Notepad++, you're going to have a line numbering system so that you can refer to individual lines within a document. I use text documents heavily when I'm outsourcing something and I want to type something up and I want to really be able to focus on that. So instead of having all the options of a Google Docs or a Microsoft Word, I'm just in that Notepad environment and I'm doing everything right there, and it helps me stay focused. And it also helps me think about, how would I organize this if I didn't have any of those extra features? How would I pare it down to the bare minimum so that I can improve my efficiency? When you're doing everything with a pared down system, you become more creative. And so then you can go back to that more feature-rich environment and you have all these new creative tools, these new ways of thinking about things that you didn't have beforehand. It also helps if you're moving between systems, or the person you're working with or who's working for you is on a different system. You don't have to worry about things getting messed up with a simple text document. I also talked earlier about a single level structure and having numbering systems. So the way you want to think about organizing all your files or individual sections of your files, because a lot of you have a ton of documents, you have a ton of stuff offline and online, meaning off your computer, on your computer, maybe even the cloud, and it's all organized in different ways and it's all cluttered. So how do you tackle that problem? How do you tackle organizing all that stuff? Well, what you do is you start using a numbering system. So everything that's in a list gets numbered from 00 to 01 to 02 to 03, or if it's going to be more than 100 items, it would be 001, 002. That's going to handle up to 1,000 items. You can even go beyond that to up to 10,000 items and even beyond that. But that's what you start out with. And what you do is, if something has that numbered prefix, that means you've begun organizing that piece, and that piece is organized. The things that don't have that prefix means they're not organized yet. So you can start out at the root level, at the base level. That kind of, when you open up a hard drive and you're just looking what's right there, that's what's your root level. Or if you just open up Dropbox or open up Google Drive, whatever's looking at you right there, that's at the root level, that's at the base level, and you can start there. But you can also start at individual places within there. So there might be a certain folder that you use all the time and there's lots of stuff going on there, and it would be really valuable to have that organized. Or there's something you're collaborating on. It'd be really helpful to be able to talk on the phone with somebody and say, okay, it's in folder 02 and then some subfolder 04, or it's in folder 013. And I use this all the time when I'm collaborating with different people. Makes it so much easier to refer to things and find things, because what happens is it's like laying a foundation, pouring that concrete in there. Once you set up the numbering for things, the numbering never changes, and so over time you start to memorize those numbers without even intentionally doing it. It doesn't take any extra effort. Then you can refer to those things and they become second nature to you. You can also search very easily for a number, and you're not going to get a bunch of other results that you're not looking for. So numbers can be very valuable for a number of reasons. But you can also go into that folder and instantly see, okay, all those things are numbered. That means I've been here before and I've organized this folder. If nothing's numbered, then that means you know you didn't organize. And it doesn't take a lot of extra resources to keep track of, did I organize this or not? There's a few other ways you can organize. You can use stage-based organization with different versions. So the way you would do this is you would name a file. Let's say you're working on a collaborative project. Let's say you're putting together PowerPoint. So you're going to call that PowerPoint July presentation. So July presentation version 1.0 is going to be the starting presentation. And then when you get to a significant milestone, or you spend an hour on the phone with a few other people and you finish, then you would turn that version 1.1. And then you would work on that yourself, bring it back to the group, it'd be version 1.2. You make a significant milestone, maybe it's ready to actually give that first presentation, and you turn it into file version 2.0, and then that's the one you present. Maybe you make a few changes before your next presentation, now it's 3.0, stuff like that. The other way of doing it is to use date-based organization. Date-based organization just means a prefix, which just means entering something before the file name would be the date, and you always use the year in 4 digits, so it'd be like 2015 or 2016, and then a period or a dash, and then the month code in 2 digits, so that would be like July 07, and then you would do the date, so let's say it's July 4th, so it'd be 04, and that way you're going to use the exact same system every single time, and anytime you sort by file name, all those different versions of the file, or all those different files, are always going to be in the right order based on when you created them. And the idea is you can have multiple versions so that if you make a mistake or something doesn't work out, you can go back in time and find the older version of something. And it keeps everything in order, and it's very easy to refer to an exact item when you're working with somebody else. So it just removes a lot of friction, and it's a great habit to get into because you know, okay, that's definitely something I was organizing, because otherwise I wouldn't have put that special prefix on it and named it that way. Here's another major hack. Declutter your computer by using roles. So you can create separate user accounts for doing different things. So if you have different roles that you go into, or different jobs or different organizations or different tasks that you do, you can create a special environment, user environment, just for that task. So you can have special wallpapers just for that. You can have just the shortcuts you need for just the applications, just the folders, just the files that are relevant to doing that task or assuming that role within that environment. You can also use something called Momentum for Chrome, which is a plugin where anytime you open a new tab, it has one line there which says, what's your main focus for the day? You type that in, and then every time you open a new tab and you're thinking about going to this website or that website, it automatically reminds you, this is your main goal. Are you on track with that? Another thing you can do is split up roles into different days of the week. So this is one of the most powerful things you can do. I talked earlier about what are the main areas of your life. So number 1 is your career, your business. Number 2, your personal life. Number 3, your relationships. Number 4, your health. Number 5, other stuff. And that other stuff, you can think about it as meta-level organization. That's the way that I think about it. And that can be your 5 work days. That can be the 5 days of the week. So what are you doing on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Monday, that would be your business. Tuesday, that would be your personal. Wednesday, that would be your relationships. Thursday, that would be your health, your body. Friday would be your organization, your meta level. Then Saturday and Sunday, you can figure out whatever you want to do for those 2 days. But that's a very basic way of thinking about it. And then if you find yourself always getting distracted or missing those habits, or you really need to go into the mode and focus on this one thing, that's a way you can do it. Let's say weekly you want to check in on your financials. Then you could do that every Tuesday. That'd be part of your personal day on Tuesday, where you maybe spend half an hour, and you take care of a bunch of habits, and they'd all be in that one place in that one user account. And it helps you get into that mode and build that role, build that part of your identity until where it's solid, and then it becomes automatic. It just becomes a part of you. Another little bit more minor thing you can do is put things in full screen mode. So you make sure you're doing one task at a time. You're not tempted to switch things. Another thing is just use separate windows. So don't have a bunch of tabs open in one window. Drag one of those tabs out, close the other, minimize that other window, so you just have one thing that you're looking at that's in front of you. Get rid of those notifications. Use that screen real estate properly. Then the last thing is using bookmarks. So as you see Xmarks and LastPass here, those are the two best plugins to use, or extensions for Chrome, Firefox, whatever you're using, so that you can keep all your passwords in one place, all your bookmarks in one place, and they're synced across all your computers. Then look at creating bookmark folders. So the same organization that I talked about before, that can be used in your bookmarks. So O1, you could create a folder called O1 Career, O1 Business. That would be your business bookmarks. O2 would be your personal. O3 would be relationships. O4 would be health. O5 would be meta level. So those basic things. Then you could have another folder called Everyday that you would look at every day. And additional roles, responsibilities, projects you're working on, that could go in 06, 07, 08. But you're looking at that every day. You can even have folders that are labeled for each day of the week. So I have a folder in my bookmarks called 00 days, and I click on that, and there's a folder of bookmarks for each day. So each day of the week, I have a certain set of bookmarks that I'm looking at during that day right in the morning to get started with. Another really important bookmark app to have for your browser, Firefox, Chrome, it's basically on every browser at this point, is OneTab. OneTab allows you to do a bunch of research on something, open 10, 15 tabs, and then you just can't do it anymore. You can't look at it anymore. Or it could just be a section. It could be the right 6 tabs of 15 total tabs you have in one folder. So you just want to close those right 6. So you would go into that tab that's right to the left of the first one of those 6 that you want to close, and you'd right click and you'd say close all tabs to the right, and all those 6 tabs to the right of the tab you were in will get closed and go to one tab. So one tab, just a single button you can click, it'll take all those tabs, close them all, and then save those tabs as a list of links. You can restore them all at once, or you can just open them one at a time. And it's so beneficial. It helps so much. But the way to think about bookmarks is this is just another way where you're organizing information. This is just another way for you to batch activities, remove notifications, get things into your schedule. So you can have a set of bookmarks that you open once in the morning and once in the evening. That could have checking your email. That could have checking certain stats for your business or your website or your profession or whatever. Things you want to keep track of, things that you want to check in on certain days of the week, certain times of the day. That can all go into a very basic bookmark system. You don't need to have all these fancy apps, fancy services to get these basic things set up. All you need to have is the same organization system across everything you're doing, in your file cabinets, in your bookmarks, in your email, in your Google Drive, your Dropbox, your hard drives. Just use one system everywhere, and it's going to totally simplify, totally change how you think, because you're going to get a massive increase in clarity of thinking. You're going to be able to connect things across different domains. You're going to be able to access things that you haven't looked at in years, and it's going to all come back because you've got everything in the right place, the one place, and you can get it when you need it. And when you're done with something, or you're bored by it or whatever, you know where you put it so that you can get it later when you need it. And there's no friction there. There's no uncertainty of where does this go? What do I do with this? I'm overwhelmed. I'm just going to put it in a box and forget about it. That's never going to happen again once you have this kind of system set up.